Certainly the coup has failed, and the Prime Minister has announced that 161 people were killed, 1,440 people were wounded, and nearly 3,000 arrested. The Parliament building, which you can see behind me there, it's those light green roofs in the distance. There's a large crowd outside it at the moment of Erdogan supporters. I heard people chanting support for the government a few minutes ago because I'm overlooking the city centre here. However, despite the jubilation about the failure of the military coup, some ugly incidents did happen. You know, in Istanbul, the mob got hold of a soldier and slit his throat. My wife is a doctor. She works in a North Ankara hospital, and she tells me that many of the civilian casualties there have been wounded by birdshot. Now, the coup was staged in this part of the country from an airbase north of Ankara. But the Turkish military, the Turkish police, do not use birdshot. It is clear that some members of the people at large, Erdogan supporters presumably, were taking the law into their own hands and using shotguns.
Jesper, then you watched events unfold in Ankara. Why do you think this coup failed?
Well, to put it simply, if you're going to overthrow the government, you have got to seize the man that dominates the government. The plotters failed to seize Recep Tayyip Erdogan. It appears that they didn't even know where he was. He was at a seaside resort in southwestern Turkey. He was as free as a bird, able to rally his people. At one stage, he appeared through a cell phone video on an independent television channel that has a reputation for criticizing him, and he appealed to his supporters to take to the street. It struck me at the time as being a reckless move because he was asking his supporters to get in harm's way. But they did turn out in his support. A second reason was that the plotters failed to seize the key government, the Prime Minister's office, the headquarters, television and radio. They did send forces to these buildings, but they were puny forces. I took up a position outside the President's building, presidential palace here in Ankara, because I thought if there was going to be a coup, that building was going to be seized.